Right, so YouTube is telling me live, but let's see if I've caught up with it. This whole delay thing is going to be the death of me. Alright. Let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if my voice matches the way my mouth is moving. Hey Darlene, hi Patrice and Ron. Good morning, Tamala. I hope everybody can hear me. It is Sunday brunch, so hi, welcome, happy Sunday, happy Father's Day. Oh, Tamala, that's so exciting. This weekend is working out very well so far. Yay! Hi Sheila, hi Sheila, hi Karen. Oh, so exciting. Yeah, happy Father's Day. It's funny, I called my dad early this morning, and I guess he was sleeping in. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to call me back, but not between the hours of 11 and 1. And he called me at 10:55. Of course. That's not 11. He was right. Goofball. Oh, I hope everybody's had a very wonderful weekend. For those of us that can, or do, or, Monday's the federal holiday for Juneteenth, so I hope everybody is going to be able to enjoy a long weekend. Oh, things are notifying me over here. Hi Nadine and Cheryl, good morning. I'm going to be working on legit kits, like I promised. And I'm going to be working on the mini rose today because I haven't worked on that live yet. Hi, Shelly. So this is, I'll show you guys. I'll do this. There we go. She's out of the way. I got to remember how things work. Move this back a little bit. So this is the first piece. Am I going the right way? Of the mini rose that I've completed. Hi Ingrid. So the mini rose is 4 blocks, so 2 by 2, so 4 all in one. So this is the first of the blocks, and I've completed this one. So I'm going to work on mini rose. Hi Stephanie. Mini rose this morning and get, hopefully, let's see, this is A1, yeah. Hopefully get A2 done, in the next couple of days. So that is what I'm going to be working on. The flowers are really pretty, and I'm excited to get this done. It is destined for my mom. Let me know. Hi Linda. Hi, Darlene. Oh, my glasses. I love so I do love glasses. I can't wear fancy heels anymore, so I don't have a shoe obsession anymore. Well, I still have a shoe obsession, but I just can't wear the cute little sexy things anymore. So now it's moved to glasses. So I have 2 frames, but they are, I know everybody's seen it on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, the pair so the frames pop off. I think I only have sunglasses around somewhere. And so I can change the frames all the time. So I have the more cat-eyed ones and then these squarer ones. And so the frames are kind of blue tortoise, but I was feeling dark blue today. So that's what I put on. They're so fun. I love them so much. If you don't have really bad eyes like I do, initial cost of the frame is not that much. But I have like the blue light blocker because I work all day on a computer. I have progressives because I'm an old person. And I think, and like an anti-glare tint on it too for driving at night because I'm an old person. So they definitely got pricey for that. But these little tops I have for like all kinds of occasions. And they're only $25, I think. Yeah, $25 a piece. And so I have some that are sunglasses. I have Christmas ones. I have 4th of July ones. I have, my grandfather was Ukrainian, and so I have in Ukrainian support ones. I have, every year we have a crab fest here at my place, so I have ones with, like, Maryland crabs on them. It's so much fun. So I get my shoe obsession moved into glasses. Thanks for asking. This is a lot of information I gave you about the glasses. Hi, Pat Boo. Cheryl, you're working on Stephanie stitches. I need to work on that too. Need to work on that and get that all complete. I'll be happy. I did do. Let me switch it back. I'm going to switch it back to this. I want to show off. I had worked. I'd taken the Yvette Renee's virtual retreat, and I finished. It was like a snack mat, but a lot of folks were doing it like this for a wall hanging, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I'll use a wall hanging more. And actually, now that I've made it, I've decided that I'm sending it to my aunt. I do that all the time. I start off thinking, oh, I'm really going to enjoy that. And then I end up giving it to someone else. So I really, aside from the Moda challenge, I have nothing that I've made. And this guy, I kept this, but all the other 12 minis I gave to other people. I'm so goofy. Oh, Cheryl, come on by. Hi, Judy. Yeah, it's always a lot of fun. And last year I actually worked on finishing my backyard. So I live in a townhouse, so it's not a huge backyard, but we still have it set up where we have a little fire pit area, and we have an awning. Not an awning. It's like I don't know, what do they call it? Like, it's not a tent either because it's rain and stuff can pass through it. But anyway, it's over the 8-person top that we have, and it has its own little fire pit in the middle. Last summer was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. Oh, excellent, Ron! Congratulations. How did you feel? You feeling more confident now that you've finished 2 months? Good morning, Fallon. How are you doing? I got, yeah, kind of a gazebo, but it's not wooden. It's, I think it starts with a P, and the word is just escaping me this morning. I always want to say escaping, like espresso, even though I know it's espresso. For anybody that hasn't already jumped on board the Quilter's Slide Lock, Fallon and her husband Matthew announced and released the 14-inch Quilter's Slide Lock yesterday, and I know Ingrid jumped on board. I had already the 24-inch one, and let me see if I can pull it down. It might be hard to see it. I already have the 24-inch, so I got the 14 yesterday, and then I am pergola. Yay! Thank you, Tamla and Darlene. Woohoo! Yeah, and like Ingrid was saying, already got the shipping notice. I ordered it yesterday, got the shipping notice, and it's like a whole like family affair. So I think if I did it correctly, the link right to the slide locks is in the description below. Very exciting stuff. I'll have to do like a like a video on how I use it. I am definitely use my Martelli mat. Oh, I can show that. Like this mat, the Martelli, it is, from what I've been able to tell, is the inch is in an inch on this Martelli. So I use the mat for lining up instead of the two ruler bit, but I've done the two ruler bit in the past. So if I have to cut in a different location, I'm pretty comfortable with that. And I think I don't think it adds any additional time, really. I have no problem lining everything up. Let's see, Sally, thank you. Judy got the notification too, so did Linda. Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, Sally, you're not late. All good. Yeah, I really, the Martelli, it's, when I'm sewing, it's upside down, but when I'm getting ready for projects, I cut on the other side of this table. So it's right way around for me when I'm actually doing the cutting. So there's that. Good morning, Rita. How are you doing this morning? I was telling everybody yesterday that I was really enjoying all the canning that you're doing, and it just reminds me of my mama from Tennessee. So I haven't done bread and butter pickles. I didn't do them last year, so I think I'm gonna have to start canning some bread and butter this year. You got me back into it, and maybe some beets, because I do love beets. All right, so I think my iron is now hot, and I do have it plugged in. I did not do that yesterday. We were sewing on Stephanie Stitch's channel. We sew the Village Green PMQ, the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and I forgot to plug in my iron because I'm a goofball. Oh, so I'm going to move this part. This is the one I'd already completed. I think that my cats have left a little bit of DNA on my on my paper. I think they spilled something as they walked over it, because that's the life of a cat owner. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Pat Boo, I did finish month 2. Here, I can show those. I've got month 1 and month 2 right here. Sorry, I know I've turned my head from the speaker, but I do have month 1 and month 2. I will pull those up. So let's see. This is the 4 blocks from month 1. Folded. I haven't put them together yet. I think I'm going to put them together I'm going to sew the months, and then sew the months in like a bigger 4 patch, and then sew all, I think that's the way I'm going to do it. And then this is month 2. I think. I could have them backwards. Oh no, I do. I totally have them backwards. This says month 1 right on the top of it. All nice and clear for me to see. So this is month 1, and the other was month 2. And it is very clearly marked. I'm just very clearly a goofball and didn't read it. So yeah, month 1 and the other's month 2. All in greens, which has been very fun because that's my fave. Yeah, my pro tip. Oh, tornado warning. Yeah, rough weather. It's been... I feel like we just keep saying it every year, that the weather is just getting weirder and weirder. And if you can hear my puppy, she's very sad because she's not allowed into the area right now. You got them sewed together. I think Stephanie Stitches sewed her 2 months together too, if I remember correctly. She had them on her vlog yesterday morning, where they were together. I'm just trying different things, experimenting with how I'm putting things together. Like with Sail Away, I sewed each row all in one, from 1 to 8. I sewed the row together, and then I've started sewing the rows, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 1 and 2 to 3. I've started doing that all in rows. So I did that way. The mini rows is just 4 blocks, so I'll just put it together like a 4-patch and call that done. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Stephanie's saying, yep, she's got hers done. But this one, for the vortex, I'm going to try the quadrants together, or the larger four patches. Put these 4 patches together with a larger 4-patch and see how that goes. Just to switch it up, really. But everybody has, different ways that they like to put them together. So I'm trying to make sure I have tried everything, though I might like one way better than the other. I want to make sure I've tried everything. It's kind of like when I went to culinary school, I made myself try everything that I hated. Like, I did not like olives before culinary school, love olives. I'm still not a big wine fan, but I tried like every kind of wine, so that I at least knew, like, I could build a flavor, inventory, I guess. Yeah, doesn't all that green look amazing? I am very excited. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be huge. It's going to be so big. I'm so excited. And I've been thinking, oh, maybe I'll put some like rainbow colored, like a rail fence. Well, not a rail fence, but piano key. That's the word. A piano key, like rainbow border around it. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Because you can see I do enjoy some rainbow selection of fabrics. Oh, Papu, no. And actually, I don't know if you saw, Legit Kits put out there that mini owl, or the little hooter, the pre-sale is sold out. From the reaction they got at recent quilt shows, and all the things that they've been driving their ambulance to for the first half of the year, they were really excited about the response that they were getting. So they, for the first time, doubled the amount of kits that they were putting together for the pre-sale, and all of those sold out in 72 hours. That owl was very popular. It's so adorable. And I wanted to so bad, but I want to get the ones that I have finished. Because I'm still future Shannon is going to be a Legit Kit certified instructor. So I've got to get the ones that I have done, and be able to show those off. And then like start with the sail away, where I want to do the very specific quilting of it, show off that I can do that too. So I gotta get on the ball. Oh, you're right, Tammy. Oh, you're right. Some of that would, oh yeah, the possibilities are endless. I'm so excited. It's gonna be fun. The vortex is gonna be gorgeous. What's everybody working on? I know we heard a couple of folks chime in on what they're working on today. Or are you just hanging out before you have some Father's Day festivities? My dad's in North Carolina, and I already, I sent him, he's the reason why I'm such an avid reader. He is an insatiable reader. He is a stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning reader, reading books. And so I ended up getting him a Kindle gift card, because he reads on his Kindle, and it's really the most adorable thing. He reads on his little recliner with his Kindle with the lap quilt that I made him. And so that makes me really happy. I made that one specifically for him. So it knew where it was going, and it's really adorable to see him with it on his lap when he's reading. My stepmom has sent me a picture of him doing that. So cotton cuts first, Tammy, and then on to the vortex. Gotcha. Like it? Yeah, my dad, well, he was a elementary school teacher for 20 years and then an elementary school principal for 20 years. Though while he was working to become the elementary school principal, they like, send you all over the place. So he did middle school for a couple of years in between, just, until they found him a spot. Um, and so reading was always a really huge thing. All three of us, I have two younger sisters, we're all big time readers. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Welcome. Oh, Cheryl. Yeah, I had not heard of the slide lock before being introduced to it by Fallon and Fallon's family. I love that it's a family working together. I had not heard of it, but I'm really glad that I have it now. Um, I, I could probably, definitely could Google search, see what the other ones looked like, but it's pretty cool. And then I can't wait for the it's trim something, but they have the little handles on them, and you just move them instead of moving the mat or the fabric. Love that. Ooh, Sheila's working on, let's see, Glory Hole Farm Girl Vintage. Shelly's wanting to sew, but it's storming. Yep. Oh, Ron, that's awesome. A Quilt to Valor top. That's awesome. Trim block. Yes, thank you, Linda. Gosh. Sometimes. Trim lock. Yep. Thank you all. Keep his brain straight. I appreciate it. You're cleaning up your space a little. That's nice. I cleaned up. So this was until recently my shelf of shame, where it was literally just unfinished projects stacked upon unfinished projects stacks upon, and it looked a mess. It was not good. So I recently got all of those straightened out, and now they're in their own little boxes, and I am happy again. This side is this is my notes, where this is my go-to when I'm trying to remember everybody's names. They're written in here. You all are written here, so I can remember. Ooh. Ooh, a rag quilt. Patina. I need to. I'm thinking of. I wonder if I should start a Facebook page so that when you guys are telling me all the fun things you're working on, but then everybody has, about a million Facebook groups that they're a part of, and I can't even keep up with the ones I'm a part of. So then I think, oh, that's such a bother to have everybody else join another one. But I want to see what everybody's doing. I mean, I do have my Facebook page, the Slay Arts, but it's not a Facebook group where like you might feel more comfortable sharing stuff and everything. You have a room of shame. I love that. Is that like so? I didn't watch all of Friends. I watched episodes here and there. I've just never really been a sitcom fan. I don't know, weird. Although the Canadian show, Schitt's Creek, watched every single episode of that. But I remember the Monica character had a closet of shame that nobody was allowed to be in, and it was locked. I remember the episode where Chandler and Joey broke into it, and they realized that she was a messy person. Oh, Bettina, awesome. Yeah, the AccuQuilt to cut out the fabric for that's huge. That's really nice. I love my AccuQuilt cutter. I might also have a little bit of an addiction getting the dyes too. But they're very fun. We had last weekend when we had all of the ladies in town. We I brought my cutter up, and Marianne brought a couple of dyes down, and we looked at them, and we realized on the last day it was really good we decided that we weren't going to do anything, because both of us forgot the pressing, the plastic, top thing. So we wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway, but we were doing so many other things we never never even opened them, so didn't end up too bad. Cheryl says, too many projects, no time to straighten up. Yeah, if you just stay focused on the project that's in front of you, what's happening around you, you can just, pleasantly ignore. Oh, 62 dies, that's incredible. a room of shame, I like that. One of these days I'm going to have, 20-year-olds no longer here, and I will graduate to a room of shame. Hi, Christine. Good morning. Did I miss anything? Let's see. I'm going to show off what I'm working on. And then, so these, y'all, these are all the little pieces of A2 that I have to put together. I have to follow let's see, these are the ones that are finished. These are the ones to do. These are the ones, these are the ones I'm working on. That I have the papers already on top of all the colors that I need to do. This is the assembly guide. There's a lot to do. So this is A2 that I'm working on. A lot to do. And then this is also a part of the assembly guide. That's a lot of pieces. So when Legit Kit says start with the outside pieces, outside blocks that have bigger pieces of fabric, that doesn't happen in the world of the mini flowers. Everything is a lot. So I definitely don't recommend the mini flowers as like the start one, unless you are very, very patient, of which I am not. So I'm glad I didn't start with this as my first ever FPP anything. Someone who's really patient, have no problem. But it's a lot. There's no block where you really have the time to build up the skills. It's kind of like jump in with both feet and go for it. Oh, Sally. So, okay. So I would say, depending on the size that you want to do, I would not recommend the mini flowers because they're only 4 blocks and it's 4 blocks of a lot. The Sail Away is a really good one. It has many of those outside blocks that are, maybe 4 pieces of fabric to sew together. That's a really safe spot to start. The ones that are 8 by 8, so 8 blocks across, 8 blocks down, those offer many more areas of smaller number of fabrics to make sure that you're comfortable with how they show you how to sew them together. And then you can work your way into the areas where they have pieces of their, 8.5 by 11 foundation starting off, where it works into smaller pieces. So that the Sail Away is a really good one. Any of the larger 8x8s, I would say, are, even though the finished project is big, the piecing is easier to pace yourself, to go from I've never done it before, so I'm going to start with this one block, and then work your way into the more complicated blocks. So I would look at those to begin with. They do Legit Kits does put on their front page of every project. They have a 1 through 3 scale. 1 dot is their beginner friendlies. 2 dots is a little bit like more intermediate, and 3s are the advanced. And I've found that that's pretty true. Though I think some are more advanced than others in the advanced land. Let's see. Hello from North Carolina. Hi there, Beverly. Just talking about North Carolina. My dad's in North Carolina. Hi, Mary Ann. Oh, I definitely missed some stuff. Let's see. Oh, thanks for joining us for a bit, Fallon. I'm sorry if I missed you. Sorry, I was talking and moving my hands all over the place, and I know I missed some chat. Oh, Pat Boo, that's very true. Yep. You start at the beginning, and just remember that I highly recommend not looking at all of what you have to do, and just do the little piece that's in front of you. Even with this, it's 5 pieces of fabric, and I'm just focused on these 5 little pieces of fabric. And when I say little, you don't have to cut them that little. You've got some grace in the fabrics that are given to you, that you can be a little bit more, so that I'd never recommend cutting it exactly to size. You'll drive yourself crazy. Oh, so Mary Ann, hi. Let's see what else. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. I have a mouse that I can use. I don't have to. Pat Boo. Oh, it has a Sizzix. I've heard of those. I remember Sizzix from back when my kiddos were really little, and friends that did scrapbooking used Sizzix. Judy's working on a couple of rooms of shame. Hey, once you get them kiddos out. And there are, what Pat Boo also said about there being tutorials, there are really a lot of tutorials. I would love for you to watch videos that I have about Legit Kits, absolutely, but I am still learning from everybody that has their own channels, and I'm learning from them on different ways that they're putting things together, different ways that they're organizing, and finding all of the bits and pieces that work for me and putting it into how I do the whole thing. So absolutely watch as many as you can. I find that, Pat, I do really enjoy the smaller bits, because I think it's so fun to see. Right now this is just like a mosaic, kind of like it's almost like a broken mosaic of just pieces all around. But then when I start sewing it together, it's all going to come together into this final beautiful representation of a flower, this is the mini rose, so it'll be a rose at the end, and that's just so cool. Not as mysterious as the puzzle mystery quilts, because I do have the final picture, so I know what it will look like. But as I'm doing it, it's interesting to go, oh, oh, that's pink. That's definitely in the rose somewhere that I've seen. It's fun. I like that. I have not sewn a thing, Cheryl. That's so funny. I was just thinking, I really need to. But I really enjoy talking to you guys and seeing what you all are working on. I'm really I'm so bad. Oh, okay. I'm gonna work on something. let's get to work on this bit. Do so. BT F F B. No, there's no B E in this one. Oh, LU. It's because I skipped. Let's see. Does this back one have all of the pieces? B T F F L U S I. Pat Boo, the project I'm doing here is the mini rose. I have the first quadrant done, so the first piece of it is all set. And you can start to see the flower coming together. This one is just a 4x4 grid, so it'll just be for what starts out as an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, finishes at, I think it's 7.5 by 10. I think, but this is all going to go together to make a rose, which I'm very excited about. Oh, I actually have the little magnet, so that's what it will look like. You can see it goes from the light source over here where you can see the colors into the shadows of the flower. They're color people that pick the colors of the Kona cotton. Genius. Oh, finish the Lucy Lou. Ah. Yeah, definitely starting with the larger pieces is a huge recommendation, especially if you've not done FPP before, and so you're not really accustomed to what cutting for the shape really looks like. Starting with those larger pieces is huge. I like it. I like it, Cheryl. Thank you very much. I asked for it because I need it. I will I will get distracted like a child. I gotta find AA. There's AA. Yep, AA's right here. Right. Alright. So we're gonna work on this little piece. We'll put all this back together. Part of my organization is to have the section I'm working on in a working folder. So working sections that I'm working on is always in a folder like this. So I will put it either to the side if I know it's in the next couple of days I'll get to it, or if I put it back in my accordion file, I know that this is what I want to grab. This is the piece that I'm working on. So that's how I stay organized with all these little flying pieces. They go into the file folder. It also keeps those cats I talked about earlier from, batting pieces around, and I can't find them again. Oh, I have to order another file folder because I ended up using the one that I had. Nope, I take it back. I have one. I need to set up my file folder to do all of the colors of Kona cottons, so I will be ready with all my scraps of fabric. That's going to be fun. I want to see what I'll be able to do, what I might be able to work on from all the scraps. All right, so I'm gonna get started, and I will have it showing here, and then I'll move my machine over to show as I put the pieces together. I think I've talked about before that I'm a cut as I go-er. So the section I'm working on, I will, so this one has so many small pieces, so I've been doing them like in 5 little piece bits, again, so I don't feel overwhelmed. Because when I look at all of that needs to be done, it short circuits my brain, and it makes me tired, and I haven't even done anything. So I work and I will take 5 of these little pieces, and those are the 5 that I'm going to work on, and then I gather all the colors for those 5 pieces, and then I cut as I go. The reason why I cut as I go is because through 2 years now of working on FPP projects, cutting incorrectly, making all the mistakes, I've now got myself to the point where I'm comfortable with doing that. I do not recommend you do that as a newbie. You want to get, if it's not legit kits, there are several FPP folks out there that have cutting guides that will, like the kind of like EPP, where you have the paper sized template and then the fabric sized template, so you know where to fussy cut and all that stuff. A lot of the FPPers will do the same. They'll have a paper, paper template, but that is made the exact size of the fabric that you want to cut out, and then you just cut around that exact piece. So those are good ones to start off with if you haven't done it before, so you can get comfortable at looking at what the piece is going to be that you need to fit into this puzzle. Hi, so Terry. Yeah, it really is assembling the block pieces. And Pat, you're talking about the pins keep moving. And for pieces that are a little bit more fiddly, I've kind of gone to pins and wonder clips to help hold all of it together, because it can get very frustrating. Very frustrating. Darlene, see, I'm making 3-inch FPP stars for a scrappy Patriot table runner. Started in 2021. Girl. I've only been sewing for 2.5 years, and I still have the projects I started with that I have not finished. Too funny. Okay, alright, onto it. Cutting. Woohoo! These corner pieces are always my favorite, because I like being able to slide the paper into the corner. I have the paper cut with pinking shears, because at that moment I had pinking shears at hand. That's not something that I do on the regular. I just had them, and so I used them. I do, however, use, you'll see, past this, the 1/4 inch mark that is the darker gray. I do cut my papers even more than that. So I actually end up giving myself even more grace area to flub up if I flub. So that just in case you were wondering about the papers having the pinked edges, it happened to be, that's what I had available. All right, here we go. I also use this is a So Yeah one, but I use kind of whatever postcard has been in whatever I've gotten. Hi, Celie. Oh, talking to your dad. That's cool. My dad gave me a call right before I was supposed to go on here. But so I use the postcard because I like the thickness that it is in folding it. I feel like I get a better fold. Then using the add a quarter ruler, even though that's thin on that side, I just feel like I get a better fold when I use the little. And I am ambidextrous, so I use this guy. If you watched Fallon and Matthew do their rotary cutters, they weren't a fan of the weight of it, though Matthew did like it better on the left hand side. I love it. It's like, this is the one I always use down here. So I love that it's very, everybody's unique. You like what you like. And I really liked their process of testing them all. Was cool. And that they had ideas of what they were going to like, and that they were both surprised what the end results were. So there we go. It's a healthy piece for LU for number 1. And then when I cut them, I stack them. I try to go 1, so on this one I'm working 1 through 5. I try to cut 1 through 5 because then I stack them upside down on to the side, and then I flip that over when I'm ready to start actually sewing it together. So that's why I'm not doing it alphabetical. I will do it 1 through. The pink edges do look pretty. I will say it is aesthetically pleasing. So let's see. BT is over here in this corner. Bye. The kids are leaving to go have lunch with their dad. There we go. Alright. So that's good there. You just have to remember, and again, from trial and error and doing this for the past couple of years, remember that while you're folding it here, you still need to leave the seam allowance on this side. I've seen some folks do it where they fold the fabric and then know where to sew. I haven't tried that out yet, but it looks kind of cool. But I always like remind myself that I'm, folding it back right where it needs to be, but I need to give some space. Well, now I just moved it, so let's make sure we're still in line. Give some space for the seam allowance. Yeah. Well, I just fudged that one. There we go. Piece 2. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Piece 3 is the SI. I love the color names. This is Spice. And I love that some of the lettering makes sense and some of it makes no sense whatsoever. Let's see. We're going to do this guy over here. Also, when you're sorry, I just realized you guys can't really see the cutting. When you're cutting pieces really this small, feel free to use one of the cut gloves. Sorry for the loud noise. Yeah, feel free to use the cut gloves so that you don't end up nicking yourself at the best case scenario, or really hurting yourself worst case scenario. Do what's going to keep you safe and what you're going to feel comfortable with. I got very used to wearing the cut gloves working in restaurants because there's no worse cut than a bread knife because of the serrated edges. I'm not saying rotary cutters is not a horrendous cut. But I will say that a clean cut from a straight blade is highly recommended. If you've got to get cut, you want a straight blade, not on a serrated knife. It's much easier to sew up a straight line cut than serrated blade. Let's see. Love that cutter. I love that I can cut both directions with it. Yep, love that. I use the ruler's edge for my folds. I also don't sew my paper. Oh, that's right. So Terry, you told me about that. That's right. And I did watch your video on that. I just haven't done it enough for it to be muscle memory for me yet, so. Could you use the add a quarter ruler or regular ruler to get the 1/4 inch? Yes, you absolutely can. I would, like, for these tiny little pieces, I would use, you know, just a little guy, and you could put it on the edge of where you're trying to cut, and then, but do as I say, not as I do on some of these things. Again, my comfort level, because of having done it for a while, is I'm okay cutting sort of a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch-ish, 1/4 inch adjacent. however you want to say that. But I've gotten to a point where I feel pretty comfortable just going for it. But I don't recommend that. And if I was actually doing this in a class, showing, you know, people how to do it correctly, I would do as my culinary instructors used to say. And I think I talked about it, but also there's, you know, I think like Picasso or something said, you know, you learn the rules, learn how to do it the right way, show people how to do it the right way, but how you do it for yourself, go for it. I think Picasso said it much prettier than my chef instructors, but just the same concept. It is legit kits. Yep. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yes, the mini rose. Oh, sure.
What do you want?
I don't know. What are you gonna get?
I don't know.
Talking lunch.
I don't know. Pick something.
Oh no! Now I gotta pick something. I don't know. What do you want?
How much?
Sure. Yep.
What do you want?
Chicken sandwich combo, rice and beans.
Chicken sandwich?
Yep.
Alright. Spicy or regular?
Spicy. There we go. Yes, please. There we go. Got my lunch order in. Oops, I was almost going to do piece 1. I got distracted by food. Gotta keep these girlish curves somehow. Hi, Darlene. Oh, so Terry, I have the whole set. You can get the mini flowers as a trio, and I have all of them. Love them. They're so pretty. I can't wait to do all of them. And they are all 3 of them are the 4 block, so 2x2 grid. Yes, absolutely recommend watching Jamie. She's awesome. Boozy Quilter. She's awesome and funny. Not that Jamie's not also funny, but Boozy Quilter makes me laugh, like, constantly. Another version of do as I say, not as I do. Don't put your rotary cutter down not closed. And 5. Boom! There we go. Alright, we are ready to sew. Put that there. Bring this over here. Another thing that I do, maybe a little strange, different. It's not strange, just different. I use Monopoly thread if you are a CS, which is a Cheeto sucker, which is a walnut port nut house kind of inside joke. It's not so inside anymore because we keep sharing all the information about it. But it's Monopoly thread if you're inclined, or it's monopoly. Invisible thread. I also get the bobbins. I think I have a case for the bobbins. These guys are the pre-filled bobbins because trying to fill bobbins with the stretchy plastic is a freaking nightmare, and I don't recommend it for anybody. So I get the pre-filled bobbins, and then when I'm done with the ones that I have, I also got the mega cone of it because I use it so much, and I use it for all of my FPP because I like to not be able to see the stitches when I fold it back and iron. Even I also sew at a 1.2 stitch length. 1.2 on my Juki, it's 1.3 here on my Singer. So small, because I am really working to get really crisp flat seams when I'm doing this. Getting distracted by the filament being in my way. So the monopoly it fits my purpose. Not everybody has to do that. It's just what I do. I only use the rotary cutter around the finished month's block. Cool. Yeah. That is good. Alright. So I may sound like a broken record for some folks, but I'm still gonna kind of talk as I go. When you're FPPing, the first piece is always, when you're looking at the lines you're going to sew, it's always wrong side up. When you're looking at what will be the finished piece, it is right side up. But when you're doing legit kits with their kit that comes with the Kona solids, it's a solid, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. You just want to make sure that you're covering all of your 1/4 inch. And for me, I cover the extra space too, so I know that I'm always good. Then I will fold it backwards. If the pieces are larger, I will glue, or you can pin to hold the large pieces of fabric together so they don't flop all over the place and get all misaligned. These smaller pieces, I don't worry about that, but I fold it over so I can see. I don't know that you'll be able to see, but I can see the lines. So I'm going to feel it out, make sure that the fabric is covering. So you can see back here, it's covering where it's folded over. I can feel that this is the line. Well, you might not be able to see it because my fingers are in the way, but I can feel that the fabric is past the line, and so I know I'm good to go. What I will also do is hold the thread back and make sure that my feed dogs are down. So I'll roll it towards me to put the feed dogs down and roll it just a little bit back up, the needle a little bit back up, so that I can actually put the paper underneath. But doing that gets the feed dogs out of the way so nothing catches the fabric underneath and move it in a way that I don't intend it to be moved. There we go. Now I'm going to try to, this is going to feel weird, but I'm going to try to keep my fingers down this way. Oh yes, batiks. I do want to do, I want to do I want to do the vortex in batiks. I want to do the vortex in like all ombre of green. I've got many ideas of what I want the vortex to be. So this is going to be a test that I need you all to help me out with. I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to talk while I'm sewing, and I'm testing the sound system because it says that it's supposed to level out the noise. So let me know if it does. So I'm going to start sewing. I'm going to keep my fingers back to help you guys see that I'm sewing on that line. And then I also need you guys to let me know, do you hear the machine more or do you hear me? Woohoo! This is where I trim all the pieces of thread. And just like when I was a cook, I like to make a mess of everything and pretend like there are other people to clean it up for me, but I'm always the one that has to vacuum my floor because these little bits of the thread and the filament end up all over the place, and I'm always the one that has to clean it up. Oh well. Alright, so I don't have my 3 cameras set up yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. It's about the same volume. Is it annoying, Judy? Is the sound of the machine distracting? Or is it enough that I just, sew and then start talking again, and that would be okay? Here it is. That part I need to get figured out. Machine is loud, okay. Alright, we'll play around with it some more. I conquered the not looking like a Godzilla movie. So next I will conquer helping level out the noise of the machine, minimizing the noise of the machine. But it's fine because it's really short seams. Okay, so I'll probably I'll just sew real quick because they are really short seams, and then talk afterwards. But through this week, I'll try to work on adjusting the leveler. The only thing is it's really hard to do when I'm not on a live. Having people tell me and being able to give me the feedback. I was very shocked to find out that I had done the syncing of the sound, the audio. So I will work on that, and then I'm gonna see about getting a like an old iPhone or something you can just get from like a pawn shop or whatever, and set that up as a third camera so that where I'm ironing I can also show, because I think that'll be a good shot too, especially for like the legit kits, and how I managed to get flat seams for the legit kits, and what I do to make sure that I don't put too much, because I do use the Acorn Easy Press, but you want to be really careful not to get too much on it, or you'll distort the paper, or you have the potential to like dye your fabric with the ink. Yeah. But all future fun plans for just making it all better. But there we go. There are the first 2. I have batting is on my mat right now, so I just have little like fuzzy pieces. I would normally think that it would be cat hair, but no, it's fuzzy pieces from batting. That stuff gets everywhere too. light box. Yeah, that does. Yeah, light box is very smart way to go. Hey, Marla. Oh, silly. Absolutely. This has been just a fun part of like. I am not so technically savvy, but I do love gadgets. So this has been this has been very fun. All right, so there's that one. Then I'm going to fold this piece back and show you as much as I can. That's another piece that I gotta start remembering to make sure I'm actually in screen to show you what I'm up to. I'm just folding for the next section because now I am going to grab my add a quarter. I think I talked about this on one of our lives. I think so. I had initially started using the add an eighth ruler, which is green. This is my really little one. But I've found that I don't like the divot it leaves with the eighth of an inch when ironing it. So I went back to using the add a quarter. Personal preference. And it could be the way that I iron is a little bit different. Just like, you know, when you knit, you have different tension. I iron like it's the end of the world. Just kind of how I do it. Okay, I might move this back just a little bit so I can actually trim in camera. There we go. So yeah, I went back to using add a quarter. It works for me. I just like it better aesthetically. I've used aesthetically twice now. I think I need to stop. Oh, I learned that roll the feed dogs down from somebody, but it was before I'd started my own YouTube channel, so it wasn't really in my head to remember who I learned stuff from so that I could give them credit. But I learned from another YouTuber doing their own FPP things. Might have been String and Story. I will have to go back and watch some videos and see if I can find it. But yeah, her saying to do that was a game changer because I kept being so frustrated at crinkled starts or like the fabric is just all out of whack because of bumping up against the feed dogs. So I really should figure out who that was. So I can give her credit because she really changed how I did stuff. But it wasn't really in my head at the time that I would have to give anybody credit. So, gotta go back. Oh, a sound muffling mat. Oh, that's smart. Is it like a specific sound muffling mat, or could I do, you know, just like sew up one of the ones that you see patterns for, just for underneath of it? But if there's a gadget of a sound muffling mat, I'm gonna end up, I will end up getting it. All right, so I'm lining up the next piece. You can use your light box. Hi, Priscilla. Or you can hold it up to the light coming through your door and make sure again, I use my fingers to make sure the fabric feels past the lines by at least 1/4 inch on all sides and is lined up on this side for the sewing. We are good to go. So back to the mantra of, let me lift the feet of the foot, roll the feed dogs, There we go. All right, we are cooking with gas now. Okay, a neoprene mat. Oh, are those the thing? Oh, I've seen it on like sewing parts online or something. When you're buying their, like looking to buy a machine, they have a. Do you want to add a mat? Is that the? Is that like that? Okay, I'll look into it. I will look into that because that would be good. I might also, part of it might be the machine and the sound system are on the same level on the table. So that some of it, the shaking could also be adding to. So I appreciate you all being my guinea pigs and helping me make this better for you guys as we sew along. Right. Now, I know I just looked at the magnet, but I've completely forgotten where all of these terracotta kind of colored pieces, where these live in the picture. But green is my favorite color. Earth tones are then kind of my jam because of that. And I really like these. Like, again, terracotta-y colors. Let's take a look where we think that's going to end up. Wow. I don't think I can tell. So it is kind of a puzzle mystery, putting it all together, all the pieces. Amazon has them at reasonable prices. Excellent. Thanks. I will look that up because that'll be a helpful gadget to have on hand. Plus it'll help. My son's bedroom is actually right underneath, and my son's bedroom is actually right underneath me, and in Matt, his bed is actually right underneath me. So it'll probably help when I get up super early and come downstairs. And he's 22, so coming on at 11 o'clock for a live is super early to him. When it's not Father's Day and he's not ready to go out. The days when I could sleep in. I don't even think I can physically do it any longer. I don't. I really don't. Ooh, well, I forgot to roll my feed dogs that time, but that piece was so large, it just slid right over, so safe there. Oh, a yoga mat. Terry, I like your belief that I could appear to be someone who was zen enough to yoga. Is everybody still working on their stuff? Still, I know there was some spring cleaning happening. And the Quilt of Valor which I'm excited to see how that goes. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, there we go. Hot iron. So I'm gonna see, can you tell? Okay, even with the 1/4 of an inch, do you see that little bit of a pucker? That drives me bonkers. It's because it's where 3 pieces come together. Well, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of folded over. It all comes together right there, so it leaves this weird little bump, divot. It drives me insane. There's no getting around it, really, unless you do how Sew Terry doesn't sew on the paper, so then you can you're able to flip your seams or open them. You would be able to avoid this. This is the part that drives me crazy, but I found with using the add an eighth, this happens a lot more often, and that drives me cuckoo. All right, let me put it back, fold back. If you don't want to use the rotary cutter, and I think Pat was talking about not using the rotary cutter, you can use your scissors to, again, 1/4 of an inch-ish. And that is perfectly acceptable. And then we line it up to make sure that our triangle is completely covered. And, oh, I'm saying that off camera, see, sugars, gotta get used to it. All of the seam allowance, the triangle, everything is covered. Boom. And then we'll be ready to do another piece. You are zen enough to be, to be all you believe. Aww, I like that. Hold on a second. Let me snip. I can't snip and read. I was just going to cut my finger up. So, Pat was saying usually so the wee hours of the morning. I'm sorry you don't sleep well, but it does sound nice to be up, when it's nice and quiet and using the light box. Like that. A smaller rotary cutter. Oh. The dogs might bark a little bit. Hi, Tracy. Oh, well, I'm super glad you're here. No worries about being late. We're hanging out, having a good time. Hi, Carrie. Oh, Martelli makes a non-slip mat. Okay, I look at Martelli's too, because I obviously I like their cutting mat. I like their rotary cutter. It's weird. I have the Creative Grids one down here, but the Martelli is my go-to upstairs. I use it. I have the 45 and the 60 Martelli cutter upstairs. Oh, I'm very excited to see this all sewn up. And this is another piece that I'm sewing, and it's going to somebody else. Finished one quilt last night. I saw that you posted that today, didn't you? I saw that on Facebook, Carrie, I think, this morning. The blues and is it cream or is it white? I couldn't tell. But I did see that this morning. It was beautiful. Hey, I'm not going to tell anybody. If you start another one, it's like you can't bring anything new into the house until you remove something from the house. So if you're doing one for one, I am game. But I am a horrible enabler. Because I like seeing what people are doing. So I like seeing what the next thing is. Alright. So. Now, I'm going to let that cool down a little bit because I just reheated the entire piece. Hang this back up again. These little hooks I got from Amazon, because I get everything from Amazon pretty much, have been a lifesaver for me on my bookcases on both sides. I have these hooks where it's keeping everything straight and organized to hang up all my stuff. What's up?
You want it now?
Sure. Well, especially the drink. Thank ya. You gonna poke your head in and say hi?
I can't see good.
Oh, yep. Say hi,
Hi,
to
guys.
Diego. It's my bonus son, Diego. Oh, the straw. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Woohoo! Lunch is ready. Thank you,
Not a
sir.
sponsor though.
Not a sponsor. How cool would that be? Yay! I am a very avid unsweet tea drinker. So now I've got my unsweet tea. I was drinking a Spindrift, but I love unsweet tea. Oh no, I'll say lunch isn't until 1. But he was hungry, so I jumped on the bandwagon. But yeah, I do love those hooks. They have been very helpful to keeping my area clean. And I've just gotten into the mantra of, every night when I'm done, when I'm shutting down, I just put everything up on my hooks. So that I'm ready with a nice clean space in the morning. That sounds, very put together and like well organized and stuff, but I have a tendency to be scattered and messy when working on things. So every little bit that I can help keep the space, clean enough that I want to actually enter it again. So I can keep being creative. But I am, like I said about my shelf of shame where everything found its own, project box. I do love hiding stuff in a box. If the box is pretty enough, nobody knows the disaster that's inside. Oh, I just did all that cutting, not on camera. But take a look. Ooh. Ah. That's so pretty. I'm so excited. There we go. Even closer up. Oh, look at how crisp those lines are. Woohoo! Alright, that means on to the next piece. Let's grab that. And This one has 8 pieces of fabric to go together. All right. This one's gonna be a lot of little pieces. Oh my! Look at that. Piece 8, the ON. Is it gonna get too blurry? That is a tiny piece of fabric. That's a wee little piece of fabric. Okay. Alright. Now I'm gonna lift the machine and move it out of the way for cutting again. Wow, look at how tiny that little piece is. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Ingrid. It is very satisfying when it comes together. Like, I did that. Yay! Alright, so let's see. We've got a BE and a BU and an FG. We used BE twice. FG, GE, ON, and RF. And Q. Alright, so all of those pieces are here. And then for this piece, I know I have to take back the AA and the SI. Alright. AA and SI are back for this piece. Up to M. Alright. And no more spice. Nope, no more cayenne. Alright. So these pieces are all done. Okay, very cool. These pieces are done, and I can file those away. Well, I can put them back in the working file because I don't know what the next 5 pieces are going to need for color. But that is for another day. Now we're working on very blue blues. We've got bluebell, blueberry, fog. I like this fog. It's kind of like a gray blue. Well, more a blue gray than a gray blue. Julie says, I just ripped out 3 seams from chain stitch block that did not have perfect corner matches. Oh, oh no, I'm sorry, Julie. Oh no, Julie, don't let my self-saboteur make you second guess what you're doing. So last night when I was finishing this guy, there is a part in the S that you'll see that it doesn't quite match up, but I undid it and re-sewed it. So I sewed it together the first time, didn't like it, unpicked it again at 1.2 stitch length. And so this is the third go at trying to make it line up to make me happy. And after my third time, I was like, well, this is the way nature has intended it to be. So I figure with the red star right there, meh. And from far away, this part isn't going to matter. So I let it go. I let it go. And then here on the bottom, there's a little bit of a dip down here. It matches up here at the top, matches perfectly, beautifully. But down here, for some reason, not so much. Well, for that little bit, I wasn't unpicking that whole line. I let it go. So I will, because of my own perfectionist issues. Unpick something I'm not happy with and retry it. But it's like, I will say bless you for 3 times, and then after that you're in God's hands. I will unpick something, the third time's that's it. If it's not going to be together and it's giving me that much of a problem, it was never intended to be that way. Cheryl, does anyone know why the chat always defaults to top messages? No, I've wondered that. Why does it default to top? Why wouldn't we want to all see all messages? Oh, look at all these blues. Oh, okay, and then a little bit of tan in the raffia, which really does look like raffia, and like a. Would this be like a periwinkle? I'm not sure if the color comes through completely in the what you're seeing, but I feel like it's a periwinkle more than a lavender. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, if it's going to create a ripple effect, nope. It is what it is. 3 strikes and I'm out. Yep. It's the way it's going to be. Someone else said that. I learned that from somebody else. That they will do it 3 times. That's what they'll give. And then after that, it's just going to live the way it is. And I am a fan of that. All right. So I'm going to start cutting again and go through 1 through 8. And line my pieces up in that manner. So when I sew it all together, that's how it'll be lined up when I'm ready to sew. So piece 1 is RF. Move that over on this side, move that over here. I think when I cut this, I will show, the raffia. I was just looking at that. How you can use your ruler or your add-a-quarter. Right. So this is where, when I start having weird pieces like this is where I start thinking like the game Tetris, where I can fit all of these pieces together. It's in God's hands now, quilting. Oh, Julie, I would love that. That's perfect. That makes me, yeah, that's perfect. That makes me happy. Thank you, Darlene. See? That whole on a speeding horse thing? It'll quilt out, right? Oh, yeah, yeah. So, okay, yeah, here's where I start Tetrising. Making pieces fit in the areas that I have, because I like to have as much left over as humanly possible, and I'm super competitive with myself and with other people, but they don't usually know I'm competitive with them. I'll just pick out somebody that I'm competitive with. But I am competitive with myself very much, so I will try to end up with as much usable leftover fabric as possible. So I will do a lot of creative cutting to accomplish that. Now I've got you all wondering who I'm competitive with out there in the world. Yeah, the blues are pretty. This is the shadow side of the rose with all the blues. So that's cool. That's very pretty. All right, so that's piece 1. Throw that there. Piece 2 is Fog, which is the really bluey gray. blue gray, which kind of gives it a little bit of some green feel to it, I think. And that piece is going to fit well in here. Oh, I was supposed to show with the ruler. I'm a dunce. There we go. Fit that in there. Yeah, that's a good healthy piece. Alright, so I'll use the ruler. Where I line up the ruler at the 1/4 inch. And then cut right along that, which is, of course, safer because you're not, just having your hands out there. You're on top of the ruler, so you are less likely to catch yourself. And that's it for fog. Piece 3 is BE, and next I'll show with the at a 1/4. BE will fit in here. Yes. And then the at a 1/4, you can just slide right up. Dump it right onto that lip of the... let's see. I don't want to go so much across. Let me see if I can fit this down in here even more. No, I don't think I can. I am going to have to go. Maybe if I do it this way. That's pretty good. That's for sure. All right, so we're gonna flip it around because again, I'm trying to use as much of the weird areas as possible so that I don't have to use so much of the fabric. We're gonna cut here, and then I'm going to why didn't I cut? There we go. Alright, BE for the 3. Piece 4 is Bluebell. Oh, these blues are really pretty. So I'll probably finish cutting for this section, A to V, but I probably won't finish sewing it together in the time that we have left. But I've gotten some done, so that is very exciting, and I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, I need to bring back BE. I forgot BE is twice in here. Appreciate you all hanging out with me and keeping me accountable and on the job of getting these things done. Tracy, I am working on the mini rose legit kit. So when it's done, it'll look like this. It is a 2x2 grid, so it's basically a big old 4-patch. 2x2 grid, and I am working on section A2, so here in the blues, a lot of the blues, for the shadowy part of the rose. And I have the water lily and the orchid as well. I have not started those, but I do have them. And then the goal is to finish this mini rose, mini sculliver. Ooh, I can speak. And the sail away, which, so mini sculliver is not as small as a 4-patch, but it's not as large as sail away. Sail away is actually 8x8, so 8 rows and 8 columns. It's a good size for sure. So I'm going to finish those 3 so I can say I've put those to bed. I have accomplished 3 legit kits, and then we'll see what else I can get into. Oh, finished sized on the, let's see. Let me grab I'm going to move some stuff around so I can pull this up here. Because my organization takes up some space. You can see this is my file folder. This has mini Sculliver and the mini rose in it. So this accordion file has 2 smaller projects. Ooh, I just turned my leg weird when I did that and hurt my hip. Age. Isn't it fun? Alright, so the mini rose. Sorry for weird angle. Let me get the picture out though. Alright. Mini rose is 81 colors. 459 pieces. It is a 15 by 19 inch finish. Nope, 15 by 20 inch. Sorry about that. Listed as their 3. So it's a very detailed project. I would say that if each dot of difficulty then had its grading system within the dots, I would say that this guy is spicier of the spicy, with all these pieces that have to come together. Can you tell? I don't know if it comes through because this cover picture has a really good shot of the pieces, you know, the seam lines of all the pieces that come together. That's a lot of little pieces. So it is advanced, it is detailed, and when they say lots of little pieces, whoo, no, they are not kidding. It's a lot. But my goal with this is to finish mini rose, and then I'm going to do the mini lily, water lily, and then the mini orchid, and put them. I'm going to try to find if they have a picture frame that is large enough for 3 15 by 20 subjects, and maybe mat them and frame them out, and then give that to my mom, hopefully for her birthday next year. Her birthday just passed. It was just this past Monday, so hopefully in a year I can get all 3 done and ready, and then frame them. If I can't find a frame that does that, I might work with, like, I know Michael's, right, has like a framing section. I might do it that way. Oh, I've got some friendos that could possibly actually do it in their workshops, so I might do that too. We'll see. See if the bartering system works. It is so many pieces. 459 pieces. I'd forgotten that. I'd forgotten how many pieces. It is. Oh, look, this one is quilted. Oh, I'm saying look, and you can't even see. It says quilted by Cranky Kangaroo. So we were just talking about her earlier. If you're interested in legit kits, she's got really good hints and tricks and tips. She is an insanely accomplished seamstress, and she pounds these guys out. She does 2 for every one that she's a part of, and pounds them out. She is a production sewer for sure. But I will say, I thought about, and I did try on a couple of the blocks for Sail Away, how, like, Jamie does not trim the blocks the fabric around the outside of the blocks, and she sews them together because the way Legit Kits has their pieces, you know, you can put a pin and put them together. Then you got the magic white lines that help you line everything up, which has really spoiled me for other projects for sure. But I tried it, and it short-circuited my head. My brain was like, nope, I can't do that. Oh, okay, Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. Love you too, girly. Everybody have an awesome day. Stephanie's saying everybody have an awesome day. Thanks, Mamacita. Appreciate you being here. Oh. Yeah, 459 pieces. That's why I say the smaller ones are probably not the ones to start as a beginner. It kind of seems backwards, like you would think the smaller would be, but it's a lot of pieces that can get really, really overwhelming when you start looking at all of them, which is, again, why I do it in 5-piece chunks. Even having done this for 2 years, it's still overwhelming when I see all of the fabric and all of the pieces cut and all of the assembly guides. It just so much in my head. So cutting them out and then putting the 5 pieces together that I'm going to work on, and a disturbing glimpse into my head, I actually went I put the 5 pieces together by size order because I'm weird. You don't have to do that. But I did the 5 biggest pieces, then the 5 next biggest pieces, and I'm working my way down to the really, really smaller individual pieces of where we're going to be putting together very small pieces of fabric. I'm a goober. I can't help it. However, I can kind of make like a game or a challenge out of what I'm doing, I'm going to do. I'm just silly that way. I'm trying to figure out where... Oh, that's where that piece is. Right? Yeah. I think so. Oh, maybe not, because it doesn't look like a break. Oh, anyway, sorry. I'm trying to figure out where that one finished piece I did fits. But that's the cool thing of it. Once it's together, it's harder to see the individual pieces. All right. Well, I'm gonna put all this. I'm gonna put these pieces of fabric back in my working section because they might go with my next bunch of 5. Oh, you see in the clip. See how I'm working down to the smaller size pieces, where some of the pieces of fabric are just like Lilliputian. Oh, Carrie, I think you were saying, you said that on Steven, Live with Steven, I think, and I was like, oh, never have I felt somebody like, that's me too. I don't know. I just don't think too much about, should I do it? Or do I think I could do it? I'll figure it out. I'll work it out. I'll make it work somehow. Alright, so put that back together. I am going to continue, even after the live, working on this A2V piece. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that out. But putting the rest of the fabric away. And then I'm just going to go ahead and chitty chat with you guys for the rest of our time together. You'll be 68 on the 1st. Oh, happy early birthday! Happy early birthday. It is no fun. Though I had an interesting conversation. Lauren is my oldest. So Lauren is 24, Diego is 23, and Evan is 22. And Lauren was talking last night about their knee. They banged their knee into something and it's been hurting. And Lauren's starting to realize that things are hurting longer and things are hurting at random where they hadn't been. And I said, oh, Lauren, you're going to find that every day of your life. It's just a downhill slide from here on out, kiddo. Like, I woke up this morning and I slept wrong apparently, and I had to take some Advil for me to be able to move my head because my neck was so stiff in whatever position I found myself last night, tossing and turning. Probably tossing and turning and thinking about the invoice I was going to get this morning from. So yeah, they were selling 6.5-inch strips, and I'm just fascinated by them. But yeah, woke up, brand new ache. It's just, every day's a new adventure. Can't help it. I ended up with both dogs on the bed last night too. I don't usually let my 10-year-old Sadie, she's a 10-year-old. She's got Rottweiler, she's got Mastiff, she's got Labrador, she's just a mutt. She's got a bunch of stuff in her. I don't usually let her up on the bed anymore because I have one of the high beds. It's like one of those adjustable beds, but it's really high up off the ground. And I've tried to get stairs and things for her, but she doesn't like them. So I don't let her up on the bed often. But last night she was really trying, and I was just really tired and I want to go to bed. So I had 2 dogs, a 100-pound dog, a 50-pound dog, and 3 cats in a queen-size bed with me last night. No wonder I slept weird, right? No wonder I woke up with a crick in my neck and unable to move. Oh, Ingrid's saying, yep. Oh, yes. I always think I can get things done faster. I'm so there. 24. Yeah. Tracy, you've just become my new best friend. I can't take credit for it. I just have both of my parents, both of my grandparents on both sides. Genetics, man. It's a weird thing. Both sides, they all just have always looked really young. And I'm just, I got born into it. I'm in Maryland. I'm in Frederick, Maryland, up in northern Maryland, right under the Pennsylvania border, like Gettysburg. All right, growing up around here, you become a Civil War nerd just through osmosis. So right down from Gettysburg. Now, see, I stayed away from Tuesday's show, and I made up for it on Saturday night's show. I do need a bigger bed. So, it used to just be the one puppy, the 50-pound puppy. She's 2 years old. She was a pandemic puppy. So that was my fault. I totally did that. And then we rescued a stray cat who was pregnant from a snowstorm 5 years ago. Blizzard, actually, 5 years ago. And at one point, 3 of the 5 lived with Lauren, but then the pandemic, so everybody came back home because I am a huge mama bear, and I was like, the world is coming to an end, everybody's coming back to live with me. And then Sadie dog, she just looked at me, is actually my son's, the youngest son, the 22-year-old. We got Sadie when he was 12, obviously, 10 years. And Sadie usually sleeps down in the basement with him. But last night, for whatever reason, she followed me upstairs, and I was like, whatever, she's 10, let her be. She's an old lady. Let her sleep where she wants to. And then she became insistent on that where she wanted to was to sleep in my bed. Shannon really is a youngin'. I think I will say, having the 20-year-olds living here, it helps because in my head I'm still 16. I don't know. There are days I wake up and I'm like, how do I have 20-year-olds? How has this happened? I don't understand it. So yeah, I still feel like. Well, when I say high schooler, then I'm like, oh no, I don't feel like a high schooler, but I do still feel 16. Oh, Marla, we have a good time out in Millersburg, don't we? The Ron said it's like 6 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. Oh, I remember that. Yep, you're right, Ron. And in the big bed every night. And it is so fun. So there's become a competition between Lilu, the new puppy. Lilu is named after my guilty pleasure of a favorite movie is Fifth Element, and so she's named after Lilu Dallas, the supreme being. I'm a nerd. Whatever. There's become a competition between Lilu and the one kitten. They're 5 now, so they're not kittens anymore, but not the mom. One of the boys. There's a real competition between the two of them about who's going to be basically on top of me to sleep. and they duke it out every night. So I usually end up with harmonica. I'm a side sleeper, so I'll end up with harmonica like on my side, and Lilu, like I'm basically spooning a 50-pound dog. And then I can't move because every time I move, one of them like grunts at me. It's fun. Oh my gosh, guys. All right, well, it is just about 1 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with me, and the awesome chat that was so distracting in the absolute best way possible. I really appreciate you guys keeping me on track and helping me get to work on my mini rows. But I've really enjoyed the conversation. It makes me so happy to hear you guys talking to each other and chitty-chatting with me. I like hearing about what everybody's up to. Oh, Tracy. Yep. Such a good, goofy movie. It was on last night. But it was on a channel that cut out way too much stuff. Oh, put my roller on that small piece of paper. Which one? Oh no. Do I have... Oh, I do have a piece of... Oh, good call. I do have a piece of paper, Pat. Thank you. Because a cat will end up walking across it. Yep. Everybody have an awesome day. Thank you. Oh, Marianne, yum. Chopping veggies. Very nice. Yes, everybody have a great weekend. Thank you all again. I will see you. So Thursday morning, my Wednesday night podcast goes live. Well, I'm not live, but it goes out to watch if you wanted to watch that. And then next Sunday, I'll be back again from 11 to 1, unless I get the notification that month 3 is mailing out, and then I might be sewing up month 3 of Vortex. But either way, I will be on Sunday. And then I'm going to work on my matchstick quilting tutorial. So be on the lookout for that too. Happy weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and I will talk to you all soon. This is always the fun part, trying to figure out how to end it. Bye, Tammy. All right, bye guys.